Hey Gemini, welcome to your June reading. Thanks for joining me. So don't forget to like, subscribe, comment below. So I'm doing something a little different. As the tarot writer, I'm going to choose a quote from a book every month for every sign. And the quote that I choose is something that's pretty broad and I feel like could resonate with a lot of people. And it's something that I picked up through my own reading and I want to share with you. So instead of having like an energy card that I know a lot of tarot readers do, they'll start off a reading and say, this is your energy for the month. Well, instead of that, you'll have a quote of the month. And your quote of the month is by James Baldwin, an African-American writer. And he wrote a story called Sonny's Blues. And your quote is, all I know about music is that not many people ever really hear it. So for Gemini, I mean, you guys are the communicators of the zodiac. Are people hearing your music? And by music, I mean your essence and who you are. People know you, but do they know you? Do they ever really hear you? Are they just listening, or do they really understand what you're trying to communicate? The songs that you sing, songs being a metaphor, or could be a metaphor. Maybe you are a songwriter. Who is hearing you, and does it matter that you're being heard if you understand yourself? Let's see. Seven of Wands. So does it really matter if anybody hears you if you understand yourself? What ground do you need to stand on and speak from and scream from? You can communicate yourself in so many ways, but don't lose your passion in doing so. Once you lose your passion and the reason why you're doing something, then it's all lost. So as long as you hear yourself, if you feel that you are grounded and you know where you stand, then you are the hero of yourself and you don't need that recognition. But right now you might be feeling, or at least in the beginning of June, that you're going to have to stand your ground for something. And you have those wands up, you have all your defenses and you're ready to go, but I'm just not sure if it's really even necessary, because if people aren't ever really hearing you, then don't lose your energy. It's those who you can share in your time, in your space, in your love, where there's this give and take energy. That's where you place your energy. I mean, I think this card also deals with the home. If you take a look at who you're living with and who you're close with, who you're deeply rooted and connected with, those are the people who get you. Those are the people who offer you their cup of love, their wisdom, their generosity. And you don't have to stand on top of the hill trying to fend people back when you have people who are already with you and who are ready to listen and who have been listening for weeks and months and years. That bond can never be broken. And if it is, then you form new bonds and new relationships. But just know how much energy you are giving to people. And maybe don't be over generous, overzealous to be heard. Because with the moon here, there's a lot that's going to come to the surface this month that you may not realize right now. People might expose themselves, not in a physical way, I hope not, but you might realize that some people were deceiving you in the past, that those people who you were rooted with and you thought you really knew, you now have to defend yourself against. With the moon, you're going to have to instinctually and intuitively understand or feel that not everyone has your back. That these cups that you so thought were for you and your person, that maybe they were hiding something too. and that you have to really listen to yourself right now and to understand who these people are around you, whether it's your relationship or work buddies or whatever. There's a lot going on with the moon card here. There's a lot of feeling involved. And I don't want you wasting your breath on people who don't necessarily deserve that right now. Because this is a time to be building relationships where you feel like put the fire back in you, right? There's no deceit. There's this energy of building and trying to really be with the people who are with you. This is a card of foundation and building. So I think this month you're going to have to reconstruct who you feel like you're building things with right now. It's not going to be very clear. Friendships are going to fall away. And then you're going to realize that there are some people who you didn't think you can depend on, or you didn't think really cared about you that much. And you're going to start having a better relationship with a person or people. It could be a love relationship, and it's going to come out of the blue. You're not even going to realize that this is something that can really grow, because maybe you're wasting your time with somebody else. So the star, the moon, there's so much hope that there's so many things, so many wishes that you want to see in June. And it's possible. It's actually possible in June for it to happen. Once the exposure happens and the people or person who don't belong, that you no longer have to defend yourself with, go, and it's exposed and you realize that, then your dreams can come true. Then the creativity is ever flowing, and then you can start building again. But I think some roots, some connections are going to have to be broken in order for a new flow to come in. Gemini loves to communicate his or her wishes, and can do so, and it's only conducive, however, when they feel their channels of communication aren't blunted by other people's incapacity to want to work with them, alongside with them. The star here, it's your middle card, so it speaks a high volume of miracles happening, but not just miracles where it's just handed to you. I think this is a month where you could actually see it happening because you're working toward it. And all the Five of Pentacles people in energy can be washed away in the star card. All this new energy. This is a card of cleansing. So you're going to have to cleanse those people out of your life. People who are too needy and only want to suckle off of your energy. There needs to be a balance here of partnership, not of need and greed and just give me, give me, give me. And I think that's what you're starting to build now in your life, is this new structure of having some real rooted connection with somebody who really knows you and can listen to you deeply, who understands you. Not many people ever really do, you might feel. Not many people ever really hear the voice of a Gemini. You know, you might talk a lot and have a lot to say and be very earnest with your way of speaking and truthful, but not until somebody really sees you eye to eye are you able to operate in the space in which you really want to operate from, because people want you to take care of them, but you can't take care of everyone. So you're going forward. You're going to see by the end of June that you are turning your back on something that you thought maybe you wouldn't turn your back on. That there's new people and places that Gemini wants to see. Gemini wants to know what's coming in new, out with the Five of Pentacles and in with something that's more giving. And you're ready to accept that into your life now. The Three of Wands is you standing there receiving what all there is to receive for you in the month of June. You're doing less talking and more receiving. Once you realize that's all you have to do is talk less and receive more, there's so many more possibilities that open up for you. There's a realization that you are very clear in your mind, actually, the people you love and who love you. You are very clear in your mind that with which does no good for you anymore, and you're turning your back. It was a very difficult process to learn, but by the end of June, you will see and have that clarity. You will see and have that clarity. And I love this card because there's actually like a heart that comes out of it, this wreath. So I think that shows for you there's going to be a victory, but a heartfelt victory. You may not be heard by anybody else. You may not be really heard by anybody else, but there's one person who's really going to get you. And I think that's you. For the first time, maybe you're going to manage to accept the things that you absolutely will not turn your back on in your life. There's things that you will need to accept about yourself and that you won't accept about others. By the end of June, you will have a new knowledge about who you are, because it's going to be because you finally listened to yourself. You really heard yourself. And it will bring you back to a new reality. Here is the route back home. You have now been able to mix very easily, or you've gone in and been able to communicate with yourself what you need as an individual to connecting to the reality that's outside of you. There won't be this mismatch of communication. You won't need to fight for anything. You will have the blessings of the universe because you finally have come to a place within yourself of self-knowledge in order to hit that road and go back home. Hit that road, what I mean by that is the return back to self. You're no longer wandering around wondering who's for you and who's being deceitful and how that moon will light that path, because by the end of June, you will have that path lit through the mixture of all the blending and turning away and rebuilding that you've done throughout the month of June, that you've now come to this place of temperance. You've tempered it all and you've made it. You will have made it by the end of June to this new place. And this new place is a new pattern of behavior and thinking and communicating with yourself. You're going to speak truth to yourself and understand that you are changed because you have this new self-knowledge within you. You will have really heard yourself, and it will be clear as day, and you could shine like the radiant star in the star card. All right, Gemini, well, I wish you the best of luck. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.